Thank you. So we'll follow our usual um, format. Um, so we'll start with a grounding practice, and then break, and I'll move on to a compassion practice. Centers on self-compassion. Okay, so just taking a couple of moments to recognize your presence in this space, your space here and now. Whatever's happened earlier is behind you now, and whatever happens may happen later. Speculation, it's just project. So making a commitment to do your best, better expression, in the next 40 minutes. So you've made the effort to be here. So it makes a lot of sense to make the effort to be here and then not give it to your back door. Of course, I say that maybe some challenges and difficulties along the way, some distractions, but recognizing them for what they are as they arise. They're just and feeling the weight of your body against the ground or the chair or the bed, whatever it is you're sat upon, whatever it is that's supporting you. And we can rely on this support for the next so. And then imaginatively taking your mind's eye from the bottom of your spine down through the earth to its center. That point we all meet. Just reflecting on a moment about that connect. And then imaginatively bringing the attention from the center of the earth up to the bottom of your spine, and then continuing to run that attention up your spine. Just possible, just straightening it, re-altering the posture necessary. And the aim is that we have a straight as back as is practical, sensible for us. And they call it a posture. Well, I don't know about that lying down, but it's an idea of what we're in. And that spine, if you like, is the framework, major framework of our posture. The head sitting evenly on the shoulders, the eyes open or closed, depending on what suits you, maybe half of each. And if you can, just leaving some space between the arms, the energy circulate and keeps more alert. And if that's not possible for you, that's fine. If that's something you can do, just check in with that. So the idea is whether we're sat or lying down, is that we have a stable posture. Say that we may need to fine tune things as the meditations progress, but of the base stable and a strong connection with the earth, with the ground. This is very important for meditation, but just concentrate on this connection with the earth, with our um, grounded nature. Our meditations can sometimes lack a little inspiration and lightness. So as a counterbalance to that, or as a way of putting it, take our mind's eye above through our head, through our crown, ceiling, the roof, then continuing on above the cloud cover, if you have a cover where you are today. And above here, we suddenly find ourselves in something that's very different, very open, transparent. There's no obstruction, very clear. And the physical color, if there is one, is blue. We can talk in terms of awareness as well, in the sense that we're aware of this clarity, transparency, lack of obstruction. So our bodies become like the conduit between the earth and the sky. And we use these two complementary factors to ground and stabilize us, and to inspire and open us outward. So just sitting within that balance, or whatever balance you created between these two complementary factors, just sitting within those factors and within balance for a few moments. And then gently and gradually in your own time, just relaxing that mindful attention, and just taking a short break. We're trying to keep the mindfulness within the room, your focus within the room. Don't let it wander too far, backwards or forwards or outwards. Just taking a stretch, maybe. Okay. So when we're ready, there's no rush as usual. Just bringing our awareness back to our bodies briefly. Just checking in with our posture. Okay, Katie, I'll talk a bit louder. So our posture may be the same as it was before, or maybe slightly different. Just trying to reconnect with the balance, whatever balance you created during the grounding practice. So it may just be a sense of balance or a feeling, but that's fine. Reconnect with that, that's still helpful. And I'm going to start this second meditation with a sort of as a presumption in a way, which doesn't sound very mindful, but it's a working assumption. That's the best way of putting it. Visual, and that compassion starts with compassion towards oneself. How it's occurred to me recently that not everybody agrees with that, but I think for the majority of people, it's although I haven't done any research. Um, so if that's doesn't feel quite right for you, let's just work with it for the next 20 minutes. Have an open mind towards it. Meditate on that basis. See where you're at the end of it. So compassion starts with oneself. There's a very famous Tibetan Buddhist teacher who said, "Be gentle with yourself, because this enables you to be gentle and kind towards others." It was very clear that without that being gentle and kind towards oneself, you're reducing the capacity to be gentle and kind towards others. And certainly my experience, but I should acknowledge that it might not be everybody's. And I think for many of us, we generate compassion for others without having generated it for ourselves first. It can feel a bit shaky, can feel a bit unsustainable, and maybe even disingenuous, actually, in an extreme. So I'm going to invite you to just spend a few minutes just accepting yourself as you are in this moment. So we've done this before, so familiar exercise for most of us, but it's really helpful. And sometimes we feel, yes, we're accepting ourselves, but actually we're accepting, or we've accepted our gross um, problems or challenges in the moment, in terms of, pain and physically, or worry or stress mentally. In fact, there's sometimes deeper levels we haven't accessed. So let's just spend a couple of minutes just truly accepting ourselves as we are in this moment, without judgment, and open mind. Try not to get into a debate about anything that arises. Just acknowledge it, notice it. It may hang around, it may go. We don't need to push back. We're just being like a dispassionate and compassionate observer. If there's something that really knocks you over, maybe uh, mental note to look at it later, deal with it later. And then turning towards something a bit more proactive, really wish yourself all the happiness that there is, all the warmth, happiness, positivity, and joy that there is. And we can visualize this imaginatively as a um, white, uh, bright light or nectar at our heart center. And as we continue to meditate, this bright light nectar starts to spread through our body. And you may wish to bring your own affirmation to that, if that helps well. So something along the lines of, may I be happy, may I not suffer, may all my problems, etc. So don't hold back, really commit to it. And you can commit to it with the knowledge that actually from the aspect of the mind that we considered in the grounding practice, this is the mind's natural state. It's just that we fill it up with all sorts of other stuff. The mind itself naturally has all these qualities. So it's natural also that we want this happiness, this peace, this joy, call it what you will, however you relate to it, contentment. We want this all the time. It's a very natural wish. So we certainly shouldn't feel that we're being self-absorbed by wishing these things. It's very natural. We also need to reflect that we want these things. We want this sustainable happiness, represented by this light, maybe represented by our affirmation. But so does everybody else. Everybody we meet and interact with wants this reliable happiness as well. We have a connection with everybody we meet, whether we think they're great or we think they're dreadful, or we really don't care, or we don't know. Still have this connection, the same connection. We're all in the same boat in that regard. We all want to be happy. We want reliable happiness. None of us want to face problems and challenges. So each of us will relate to this connection in a different way. It'll be a different emotion, if you like, or a different feeling for each of us. And of course, we'll all feel, in general, differently about different people. So it's very relative. One person's friend can be another's enemy. Won't alter the basic fact that we all want this reliable happiness, and it's all possible that we have it. So I'd invite you to bring to mind just one situation, and nothing that's too loaded, nothing really serious, but a situation where you feel you've been wronged, or it's been very challenging for you, or it's created a problem, you felt threatened in some way. And I don't necessarily mean physically threatened. I mean, you felt put upon. And there may be one or maybe many more people who are the cause of your feelings. And bring them to mind. And if you know about their circumstances, you can back that in, but maybe you don't know about their circumstances. But you can be sure that they've got problems and challenges as well. And you can be sure that they wish to have sustainable, reliable happiness. And just reflecting and sitting within that recognition for a while. You don't need to do anything with it. You don't need to change anything. Just sitting within that recognition, acknowledging the connection, however difficult that might be. Now, this isn't to invalidate your feelings or the unjustness or threat you perceive. Will be there. It's just acknowledging what you have in common, shared experience, the shared connection with that person or persons who um, have behaved to you in this way. And maybe, just maybe, but don't force it, it maybe lead you to contemplate a sort of middle ground, compromise, or maybe just takes the edge off what's happened. And again, that's personal outcome. And then gradually, in your own time, bring the attention back into the whole room, opening your eyes if they've been closed, taking a stretch if you wish to take a stretch, and recognizing that the practice is coming to a close.